MaryAnn is a beautiful lady with a great sense of humor and a great heart. She likes to look beautiful. She likes to be told that she is.
She's got a beaming personality. She's got this infectious smile and laughter. She's just a wonderful person to be around.
All she really wants is just to live like everyone else. CLA's main goal is to have people integrated into their community as much as possible, to be living to their full potential and having a quality of life. I've known MaryAnn for about 25 years. I worked in a group living, one of our group living homes, and she came there for day supports, and then on and off for the last 25 years. So when I first started managing the group living situation that MaryAnn was living in, she seemed very frail. She was often in the hospital, very somber unless certain staff might be working, and tried to keep her a little more upbeat. And where she lived, there was 5 other people that were supported. So the days were very busy with staff caring for 6 people in the home. Oftentimes, MaryAnn would get up and come to sit in the living room and maybe watch TV for the rest of the day, not having much else to do. Sometimes there was activities that she enjoyed, like church, for example. She loved to go to church, but she couldn't always get there because when you're sharing supports in a home with 5 other people, you know, everybody has to take turns. When I first went to manage that home, the staff were really adamant that when MaryAnn moved into that home, she was promised that it wasn't going to be a forever situation. It was only going to be temporary. And so I made it one of my main goals to work on making that happen for her.
I met MaryAnn in 2011. The manager, Maureen, asked me to do a personal outcome measures interview. That interview is where we measure quality of life for a person we support. And then we also ask the staff 21 questions, and we look at quality of services and what we're doing to facilitate outcomes and goals for people. So I went in to do this outcome interview. Maureen knew that MaryAnn wasn't happy, so we were going to do some planning. That gave us a basis of where it was. So I started going to ask her some questions, and she was not happy with the organization. She's very clear on her yeses and her nos. She doesn't use words to communicate. So when I was asking her questions, majority of the responses were that she wasn't happy and a lot of nos. So a lot of things weren't happening in her life at the time. She was telling me for 7 years through the outcome interviews that she wasn't happy. So when you look at when we're responding as staff and saying, well, we can't because it's so-and-so's turn, or we can't because we don't have enough staff, or we couldn't fill a shift, or we don't have it in the budget, she's telling us and we're not listening. So the respect's not happening. Is she being treated fairly? No. We're not following through on the things that she wanted to. So that's why outcomes weren't happening for her, because she's inside a system where she had to take turns waiting for what she wanted to do.
So MaryAnn, for many years, was supported in a family home environment, and due to some unfortunate circumstances, MaryAnn had to move from there. And at the time, the only place we had available was a bed in one of our group homes. So MaryAnn was moved in a group home, but she had made it very clear to us that that isn't where she wanted to live. And our promise to her was that we would be supporting her to find a place for her to live. And what she was articulating to us was that she wanted to live independently. She ended up being in this particular home for a period of 7 years, and every year she would remind us that that's not where she wanted to live. She was ready to go. Several of our managers had been exploring in the community housing opportunities for people. We ended up encountering a developer by the name of Mark, and he was building an accessible home in the west end of our community.
I contacted CLA approximately 3 years ago because I had finished building this home and I thought it would be excellent for one of their clients. This home was purpose-built under Canada Housing and Mortgage Corporation standards for accessible housing. I thought MaryAnn was an excellent client for this purpose-built home, for someone who was in a wheelchair, so someone who needed the mobility options that this home has. So I was ecstatic that MaryAnn was going to be moving into this home. It's a 1,200 square foot home that's all on one level. So the real important thing is accessible. There are no stairs, no trip hazards. Open concept kitchen, living, dining room. The hallways are 4 feet wide. The doorways are all 3 feet wide, and there's a large wheelchair accessible bathroom that has a wheel-in shower. We have another project that we would like to build an exact replica of this home again, and we will obviously give Community Living Algoma first option on providing the home for one of their clients. We love working with Community Living Algoma, and we would like to continue the partnership, so if there's a need for it, we will provide the product. They're very professional, they're very kind, and they're very caring, and it's an honor for me to work with them.
Yeah, whenever as an organization we help people experience the life they want to experience, and there certainly is a strong sense of pride, because it isn't easy work when you're supporting 1,000 people who may want all these different things. But I sense that, the team that is surrounding MaryAnn and others that have been very progressive in their thinking, they have become very proud themselves. They're more confident with the work they're doing each and every day. I've had the opportunity to spend some time with MaryAnn's team, and they exhibit a different pride and a different sense of esteem and confidence, because they've learned so much. And when you show up to work and you're supporting a person to do what they want to do, and you see how well they're doing, you just can't help but feel good about that. We know that when staff feel good about how they're supporting people, then people get to experience a better life themselves. And we deeply thank people like MaryAnn, because they're our teachers, they're our guides, they're our ambassadors. They're the ones that help us understand that they can have a life like everybody else, and that their life doesn't need to be about programs and systems and group homes, and that they can live in their own places. Our role with MaryAnn as an organization is to make sure that MaryAnn's wishes and dreams are fulfilled. So we really want to give her the life that she wants to live. Make sure that she's safe, that she is healthy, and that she gets to enjoy life the way she wants to enjoy it. If she wants to watch TV, she watches TV. If she wants to go out, she gets to go out. It's difficult to plan day to day, because MaryAnn has the ability to make spontaneous decisions. So staff really have to be able to adjust their thinking and their time according to what MaryAnn wants that particular day. But it's all about community, it's all about friends, it's about relationships, it's about giving her the life she wants to live.
I've worked for the agency for 26 years. I've known MaryAnn for 26 years, and I love it. She lived with 5 other people. So they all had their televisions on a different channel. Like, some people had sound machines, some people were loud. There was a keyboard that played almost from morning to night, which was right across the hall from her. Staff coming in and out to check other people's wheelchairs, other people's family members coming in. Because staff had 5 other people to take care of, some people just get lost. You became like a machine. Like, you take care of one person and then you're on to the next person and on to the next person. Personal care happened, the person got up, the person got dressed, but then you're on to the next person. No matter how hard you try as a staff to make sure you had enough time, it didn't happen. Then when this opportunity came up, as soon as we walked through the door and showed her around, she was staying. She loved it.
Maureen organized some educational sessions for staff, because we were going to be adamant that MaryAnn was going to be able to pick who worked with her. She went to the information sessions so that people could ask questions, and that was a first for us. So then she was able to talk about the support that MaryAnn would need, and we also looked at if you're going to come and work with MaryAnn, these are the things that are very important to her. Like, she wants to go to swimming and she wants to go to church and be connected to her family, and so staff had to be committed to that. She was also a part of designing her own room and picking out her furniture, and she loves to shop, and so she went and picked out all her bedding and all the colors, and so she was very excited about that, and the staff and her were going to the mall to pick out the things that she wanted, and I think the excitement was starting to build for her, and realizing that it was going to happen. So MaryAnn moved into her new home in August of 2018.
When we first started this transition, I remember meeting with Maureen, the manager, and we were at great discussions about, it's all about me, MaryAnn. So it's my home, it's my choice, it's my television, it's my space, it's my friends. And I think that has been reinforced. And what we've seen is really an empowered woman. MaryAnn knowing that it's all about her. And I think that really contributes to self-confidence, self-worth, feeling valued, higher self-esteem. And you can just see the pride in MaryAnn. I think she's perched more firmly in her chair, and we've seen significant improvements in her health. We're strong believers that as you support people the way they want to be supported, that it has a direct connection to their health and well-being. And we're certainly seeing that with MaryAnn.
MaryAnn, since moving into community-based housing, has told us that she wants to go out every day. So we do our best to make that happen. She likes to go out and go to church. She likes to go to the mall. She loves shopping. She's a lot more independent now. And she's choosing the life that she's living, even to the point of when I go in as a manager, if you're managing group living, you go into the home and out of the home as you please, basically. But for MaryAnn, one day I asked her, she was going out, and I asked her if I could stay and finish up my work there when she went out. And she told me no. I felt a little hurt by that personally, but I was so thrilled that she felt empowered enough to tell me no. And it only makes sense. Who wants anybody in their home once they've gone out? So I now respect that for everybody that I support, and I'm there if they're home and they want me to come in, and if not, then I'm not there. I've never seen her happier than she is right now. She is smiling more than I've ever seen MaryAnn smile. And every time I go to her house, she's smiling. She seems so much happier. Her health has improved immensely. So since she's been living in her own home, she hasn't been in the hospital. She doesn't have any bouts of illnesses that, have really required a doctor's attention. She's just generally so much happier. One of the first things that happened when we were able to support MaryAnn to live in her own place was that her mom called, and her mom asked if she would like to host that year's Christmas Eve family get-together. And it was just such a beautiful thing, because I know her family didn't feel comfortable coming to such a big environment where there's so many people and sharing their intimate family get-togethers. And so the very first Christmas in her own home, MaryAnn was able to have her family over for a Christmas Eve dinner, and it's been really special for her to connect with her family like that.
I'm Paulette McKinnon, and I'm MaryAnn's mother. She was 5 years old when I couldn't take care of her anymore. My back had went out, so they brought her to this home, and she's been in one ever since. From there, then, she went to a private home, a couple of private homes. She was not happy because MaryAnn's the type of person that she can't stand a lot of noise. And in Sussex, there was a lot of noise. So she was very unhappy for a while. So much so that she would make herself sick, and she'd end up going into the hospital. And I didn't even realize it was going on. That's what bothers me, But she... Don't mind me, but every time I think of it, she's happy now, and that's it. She's happy. You can tell, and her family can come here. She couldn't come to our place at Christmas time or anything like that because there was no access. But now that she's got her own place, everybody's coming to her, And actually, she's hosting things, and she likes that. So, but now, since she's moved in here, she's never sick. She hasn't been sick once since she's moved in here. I don't see how it can get any better than it is now, because she's got everything she wants, and everybody's able to come here and be with her, and can't get any better than that.
Can you put your hand up? That means yes. Can you show no? That's no. I'm Shelley Combat, and this is MaryAnn Cuglietta. Are you happy here, MaryAnn? It's been a long time since you wanted to have your own house. Do you like having your family over for dinners? She really likes it. Okay, it'll be okay.
I think the sky's the limit for MaryAnn. We've seen a tremendous improvement in her health, and we hope that that can continue so that she can experience all her dreams and wishes.
I'm so happy as an organization that we started to listen to MaryAnn and keep moving forward with her.
So right now she's looking for a roommate. Unlike what we've done in the past, she's going to be able to choose. So she's visiting with different people, she's connecting again with old friends, and just seeing what's out there as far as who she'd like to live with. The future for MaryAnn can only improve.
She is a totally different person. I took her out before when she lived in a group home. We'd run into people and she'd like turn her head to look at them. But now when you take her out and she sees somebody that she knows, when they come over to talk to her, she reaches her hand out. So yesterday she met somebody that used to work with her. She reached her hand out and she rubbed this lady's arm. And I thought, wow. I knew MaryAnn before, but now I know her. She's a great lady. People just have to give her a chance.